L'Institut Mines Télécom par Shelley et Macmanara de l'agence Grafton Architects. Shelley, c'est à vous.
One of the great sadnesses of my life is that I don't speak your beautiful language. Grafton Architects have designed university buildings in Ireland, in Peru, in Italy, and in France. And we're intensely interested in the exploration of educational ideas. Each project represents an educational vision. It represents the specific culture, the climate, and the place. Designing for a greenfield site, it was important for us to generate and hold energy within the form, in the way that Chillida captures light within his beautiful stone sculptures. The beautiful color of the earth in Paris-Saclay inspired us in thinking about materials and color. The master plan showed a necklace of green rooms, referring to the traditional university quad, the monastic cloister. We took this as a starting point, as well as the beautiful requirement to plant 100 trees on our site. We also looked at the compression and release of spaces in the mosque in Cordoba, half garden, half dense building, as well as the density of the Bastide town of Montpazier, with its diagonally related spaces. The Palais Royal consists of inhabited thin walls enclosing grand public spaces, gardens, and wonderful interior worlds. Similarly, we made a distinct enclosure, a distinct place on the plateau of Saclay. Examples like the Palais Royal and the timeless Greek Stoa reminded us of the power of repetition and proportion in architecture. And researching the scale of this project, we discovered that the Saclay site is exactly 2/3 the size of Ospedale Maggiore in Milan, which we much admire. Turani's buildings provide more contemporary reference points for us in the making of repetitive, elegant, enclosing walls and facades with a classical and musical rhythm. For the Institute Mines Telecom, we build half the site and leave half open to make a garden for the 100 trees. The 1.35-meter grid required by the master plan gave us a rhythm to work with in making the enclosures. A promenade architectural creates a rich sequence of grand courts and halls. The ground floor is open and permeable, encouraging spatial and social interaction at its edges. Entry points are positioned strategically to animate the Axe Central and the surrounding boulevards. Internal courtyards open up visually to the outer streets, engaging the passerby. The enclosure is formed by a thin wall of repetitive offices at the upper level. A spiraling sequence of entry spaces rotates in a pinwheel movement about the pivotal central space of the Institute. Views to the interior world can be enjoyed from the surrounding streets and spaces. Sunlight fills the garden and lights up the corners and the entry points. We believe that the modulation of light and temperature at the edges of buildings has social significance. The garden is located on real ground where large species of trees can grow. Time, growth, and change are designed into the landscape plan. Small trees will be culled to make space for the big trees. Smaller trees are planted on man-made ground with winter and autumn courts to the north and spring and summer to the south. The garden will enjoy the big sky, the movement of the sun, and the light of the moon. The entrance courtyard opens up to Place Metro. South light comes from within and penetrates this edge. The mixing of light and shade at the meeting point of the new streets and the interiors set the stage for various enactments of public life. The presentation is jumping. The entrance courtyard reveals the life of the institute within. The main auditorium addresses this court. We reveal the life of the inner institute, and we feel this creates a vibrant educational environment. The social heart of the building is an internal courtyard around which all spaces rotate. A beautiful, easy stair weaves its way up through this light-filled volume. The sloping floors of the main auditoria release social spaces and entry spaces underneath. The building straddles two worlds. It reaches to the sky with carved courtyards and roof lights, and it anchors itself into the ground. The 1.35 rhythm of the facade opens and closes and varies in depth depending on use, location, and orientation, north, south, east, and west. The building will simultaneously appear dense and airy. The color of the building will relate to the color of the earth in Paris-Saclay. The facade is thought about as vertical contours, creating a musical rhythm of light and shade, openness and enclosure, capturing the light and energy within and allowing this energy to spill into the public spaces at its edges. Thank you.
Bravo, merci Shelley, Macmanara.